Reels recap here. In this movie, a nun falls in love with one of her students and is willing to do anything to be with him. The movie opens with a young man named Jason Brady recording himself playing guitar in his room. Jason, a blogger and musician, is about to start his school term at a Catholic boarding school along with his sister Zoe. They are greeted by the principal, Sister Rebecca. Meanwhile, Sister Sophia, another nun at the school, is watching Jason and his family from a window in the principal's office. Sister Rebecca soon returns to the office and reminds Sister Sophia that all nuns are expected to follow all the school's rules. Sister Rebecca then gives Sophia a tissue and tells her to remove her makeup immediately. After a short conversation, the principal shows Sister Sophia around the school since she is also new to the school, and at the same time, Sophia meets Jason, and learns that she will be his new homeroom teacher. After this, Rebecca shows Sophia her room. After Sister Rebecca leaves, Sophia watches Jason's music video on her laptop, but when she sees Jason she starts kissing the laptop. This hints us that Sophia already knows Jason and came to school for some sinister reasons. Unable to resist the temptation, Sophia sneaks into the school dormitory and watches Jason through the window playing his guitar and singing. The following day, during class, a student named Sarah flirts with Jason. A few moments later, Sister Sophia enters the classroom and notices Sarah and Jason getting along, which makes her envious. Sister Sophia then scolds Sarah in a slightly intimidating manner. Sarah, in turn, reminds Sister Sophia that she had not said her morning prayers. After the class ends, Jason and Sarah return to their conversation in the schoolyard, where Sarah complains to Jason about Sister Sophia's annoying behavior. As Sarah and Jason starts to kiss each other, Sister Sophia appears out of nowhere with an angry look on her face. She then orders Jason to go to class and warns Sarah to stay away from that particular boy, and as they leave, she holds and squeezes her cross in anger so hard that blood comes out of her hand. This means Sophia likes Jason and is ready to do everything to be with him. Sometime later, Sister Sophia asks Jason to come to her room after school, telling him they have some work to do. Jason later goes to Sister Sophia's room. When he gets there, he notices that the door is slightly open, and when he peeks inside, he is shocked by what he sees. Sister Sophia have taken off her nun's habit and is wearing only bright red underwear. It turns out that Sister Sophia has done this on purpose. He quickly runs away, but that night, Jason cannot sleep. He can't stop thinking about how attractive Sister Sophia is and even imagines himself kissing Sophia passionately. The next day, while Jason is heading home for the weekend, Sophie sees him talking to Sarah. She feels very jealous. Sophie then asks Sister Rebecca for leave, saying her aunt is sick and she needs to visit her. That night, Sophie goes to Jason's house. She hid and watched Jason. Just then, Jason gets a call from Sarah. Seeing this makes Sophie feel bad, and she realizes that to be with Jason, she needs to separate him from Sarah. One night, Sister Sophia quietly enters the girls' dormitory while everyone is sleeping. She goes into Sarah's room and secretly puts weed in Sarah's book. Sister Sophia plans to trap Sarah and get her expelled from school. The next day in class, Sarah opens her textbook and finds weed inside. This immediately caught the attention of her classmates and Sister Sophia. Sarah is taken to the principal's office, but all she can do is cry and insist that the weed wasn't hers. Despite her protests, the school punishes her according to its rules. She is suspended and has to leave school for a while. This incident caused a thorough search throughout the school. A bottle of alcohol is found in Jason's room in the hostel. When punishing Jason, Sister Sophia talks to other teachers and nuns, asking for leniency. Jason is assigned to help clean the school on the weekend, and this is all Sophia doing. She needed Jason to stay at school that weekend, so she made sure he was punished. Later, a flashback shows Sophia's growing feelings for Jason. She had thoroughly researched Jason and learned that a nun named Sophia was employed at his school. Sophia met this nun and sent her away. She disguised herself as Sister Sophia and started coming to Jason's school. On weekends during cleaning time, both Jason and Zoe come for their punishment, and Sister Sophia works with Jason. She tried to get closer to him to seduce him. That night, while Jason is sleeping in his room, Sophia quietly enters and secretly turns on the recording on her phone. Feeling someone in the room, Jason wakes up and is very surprised to see her there. Sister Sophia goes closer to Jason and tries to convince him to do something inappropriate. Jason tries to resist knowing this is wrong, but he finds it hard to resist her temptation. Eventually Jason gives in to temptation and they do it together. The next morning Jason feels guilty about what happened. On the other hand, Sophie wants to get Zoe out of her way because Zoe is always on the lookout for Jason. She intentionally gives Zoe low marks on the exam, which upsets Zoe. Sophie then tells her she would give her another chance to retake the test. After the class is over, Sophie calls Zoe alone and put the answer sheet at the top. When Zoe comes to class, she finds the answer sheet in her hand instead of the question paper. Sophie accuses Zoe of cheating and goes to Sister Rebecca, asking her to suspend Zoe. However, Sister Rebecca knows Zoe is a bright student and decides to give her another chance. After Sophie leaves, Zoe tells Sister Rebecca that Sophie's intentions are not good. But Sister Rebecca thinks Zoe is speaking out of anger and doesn't pay much attention to her concerns. After school, Jason intends to confess his sins but is surprised to learn that Sister Sophia, not the priest, will hear his confession. She enters the confession booth and sits. The two engage in the act right away. When Jason comes back home for the weekend, he goes to a party. At the party, Sarah comes up to him and tries to kiss him. But Jason is thinking only about his sister Sophia, so he makes Sarah stop kissing him and goes away from the party. As he's leaving, he's holding a bottle of alcohol. The police catch Jason with the alcohol, but then Sophia suddenly arrives and stops them. Later, Sophia takes him to a hotel and tries to tempt him again. However, Jason tells her that their actions are not right. Sophia reveals her wish to be with him forever, talks about her wealth, and suggests they could live happily in Paris together. Jason realizes that being intimate with Sister Sophia again has affected his stability. He angrily reprimands her for her desires and for not wanting what is right. After leaving the hotel, Jason sits by the roadside and reaches out to Zoe for assistance. Zoe tells their dad, who arrives to pick him up and encourages Jason in his musical pursuits. Jason goes back to school and discovers his sister Sophia unconscious on his bed. Initially panicked, Jason thinks Sophia tried to commit suicide by overdosing on drugs. However, it turns out it was a prank designed to get Jason's attention and sympathy. No longer able to tolerate Sophia's manipulations, Jason threatens to report her actions to the priest and the school principal. In retaliation, Sophia threatens to expose their forbidden relationship to everyone. Shortly after, while Sophia is teaching a lesson in class, Sister Rebecca suddenly interrupts her. The school principal instructs Sarah to resume her normal class routine, indicating that the punishment is over. Jason and Sarah's relationship becomes closer again, and they are frequently seen together in friendly settings. This makes Sophia jealous and angry. Sophia plans to remove Sarah from the picture. One evening, Sophia sneaks into the women's dormitory and finds Sarah in the shower. Sophia violently attacks Sarah until she is seriously injured. Then, Sophia drops the soap on the floor and pretends that Sarah slipped and had an accident. Moments later, Zoe is horrified to find Sarah lying face down. She quickly calls the police and other hostile residents for help. They conclude that Sarah's injuries are from a fall in the bath. Later on, the residents gather in the church, and after prayer, Jason confronts Sophia and accuses her of causing Sarah's sudden death. However, during their brief conversation, Jason mentions seeing Sister Sophia around the hostel. Although this is true, Sophia shows no fear. Instead, she becomes angry and threatens Jason by showing him a videotape of their intimate moments. Sophia warns Jason not to expose her actions, or else she will reveal their secret to everyone. It is weekend, Jason and Zoe are being picked up by their parents. Sophia planned to meet Jason while he is with his family. She asks Sister Rebecca for permission to attend her aunt's funeral. Jason and Zoe are having dinner with their parents at a restaurant when Sophia suddenly appears in front of them. Jason's parents warmly greet Sister Sophia and invite her to join them for dinner. Meanwhile, Sister Rebecca gets in contact with the hospital where Sophia claims her aunt was receiving treatment. However, the hospital have no record of any patient matching the description Sister Rebecca provided. After dinner, Zoe had noticed Jason's nervousness. Sister Sophia was there and asked him to explain what had been going on. Jason confessed to Zoe that he had been intimate with Sophia and was being blackmailed with intimate recordings. He also shares his doubts with Zoe about Sister Sophia's true identity. Determined to uncover the truth, Jason and Zoe break into Sister Sophia's room and access her computer. They eventually discover that her real name is Laura Patterson. Laura had sent the real Sister Sophia away to impersonate her and gain access to Jason. Meanwhile, Sister Rebecca calls Sophia to her office with the intention of exposing her lies and reporting her to the priest. However, as Sister Rebecca approaches the door, Sophia strikes her head and Sister Rebecca collapses, unconscious. Jason and Zoe, still determined to expose Sophia's true identity, go to tell Sister Rebecca about Sophie but they can't find her. They then confront Sophia at the church, revealing that they know her real name and intend to inform Sister Rebecca. In a fit of rage, Sophia knocked Zoe unconscious and attacked Jason aggressively. Unexpectedly, Sister Rebecca intervened and separated Sophia from Jason. In the midst of the chaos, Jason used a screwdriver he had on him to defend himself and stop Sophia. 7 months later, all the students successfully graduated. I hope you enjoy watching our recap video. Do subscribe and click the notification button to help the growth of this channel.